Finn said he'd be stopping by the food court, so that's as good a place as any to start our Xtreme expedition. Should be just south of the starting area. Here's one of the event officials. She spots suspicious ships by the seashore. And here at the food court, they're serving up the first surfing event out on Turtle Reef. Remember, always allow 30 minutes before hanging 10. Pop quiz. What's the only thing sweeter than Guppy all swimsuited up? None other than the sugary sweetness of Twitchy Shakes. These ice-cold consumables can be found in each event outside of the training grounds, allowing you to do various special moves. When surfing, you'll whirl about for a few seconds, able to crush any obstacles in your path for extra points. Yes, including those innocent little turtles. If used going off a jump instead, you'll be able to pull off faster spins, but can only get a maximum of 4 spins for 500 points. Not a big step up from 300 for a regular triple spin, so I prefer to save them for smashing stuff. It'd be a bit more practical if you could initiate a super spin jump in the middle of a standard twitchy spin. Alas, it requires using a separate shake, and can be kinda tricky to pull off anyway. And even without a shake handy, you're invincible a moment after a successful landing. That, however, was a successful wipeout. Yeah, steer clear not to dip into the drink there. One last bit worth mentioning about surfing is that none of the flags will ever appear in the air, just the occasional shakes and stars. Now the way the game is set up is that you run the same course each time you challenge somebody in a given area, just with different score, time, and flag goals depending on the challenger. Also, hidden medal. So I've opted to include only the most optimal runs that cover everyone's records for each course. And who better to start against than Martha, the worst surfer on the entire island. Next is Cynthia, who seems to lose things as often as your average Salad Kingdom sidekick. Susie's not so much worried about getting burned by the competition as she is by that big sizzling sphere in the sky. Melanie here dares challenge Guppy's title for most extreme metabolism. Eat your heart out, babe. Vicky likes turtles. She sees them as playful pets instead of point piñatas. Cowabunga, little fella. Aw, a cute crab. And it's just as cute from this angle, too. Becky here seems to be a bit confused as to who's got the upper hand. Maybe this turtle has her under a spell. Corny, on the other hand, isn't afraid to admit defeat, though after taking on 87 other servers in a row, he pretty much has to at this point. Get some rest, dude, but not too close to that turtle. Here's our first goon. You could say they're the mini-bosses of each event, with decent scores all around. They're also the Bonehead's lackeys, who we'll meet in a moment. First, we got one more normal challenger, and that's Vile Poo. I'm guessing he entered to try to win some cash towards a name change. Ever try to buy a vowel in today's economy? And here's our first Bonehead. They boast solid scores all around the board, so you'll usually want to take them and their goon on last once you've gotten to know the current course. Well, no sign of Finn, but at least we got ourselves some medals. Each course boasts the same grouping of challengers, 8 normal guys and gals, 4 worth 1 medal and the other 4 worth 2, a goon worth 3 medals, and a bonehead worth 5 medals. That's 20 possible medals per event, not counting any hidden ones. So 20 plus the hidden one here with the 2 hidden back at the starting area makes 23. Not a bad start. And out on the docks northwest of here is the site for the first skateboarding event, the Seaside Grind. You won't find more extreme grinds anywhere else, except maybe Final Fantasy XI. Unlike the more straightforward surfing courses, most of the other events require utilizing different paths or strategies depending on the type of challenge you're facing. So we'll start with a run that focuses on flags. Most of the flags here are in fairly obvious places, but some do require the occasional trip up a half-pipe, allowing the chance to score more points off of spins while working towards the momentum needed to reach them. Now for a failed attempt at showing off what twitchy shakes do on a skateboard. A temporary burst of crate-crushing speed. Out of habit, I usually just try to jump over obstacles instead of twitchy dash through them, but it's a nice ability regardless, so long as you remember to use it on a flat surface. Otherwise, the ability will cancel out if you try shooting up a steep incline with it. Try to avoid jumping onto upward inclines as well, or you'll automatically roll back down. Just stay grounded and hold forward to wheel your way onward and upward. Now for a run that emphasizes speed. The skateboarding time trials are probably the easiest, not only because of how relatively lenient the goals are, but also because it doesn't take too long to get back up to full speed after wiping out. Compared to inline skating, for example, where it takes longer to regain your top speed, and in the most extreme cases, you literally can't stop for anything or wipe out even once. It's kinda cool having the choice between tapping either forward or A to stay up to speed, so if one thumb's getting tired, the other one can tag in on the fly, no sweat. Finally, a more technical run to cover the rest of the goals the first two don't, with emphasis on getting a few thousand points in about under 1 minute. We don't really need to go out of our way to meet this criteria either. Just hit all the big grind spots and pass by all the half-pipes. Guppy's gonna go grind the girders of greatness again, by golly. You can also probably see by now why I prefer not to use kick flips, since you can only use those on flat surfaces, which usually boast greater grinding opportunities themselves anyways. Though it does make me wonder how exactly I pulled that one off with Finn back in the training area. Our skater spree starts with LeVar, self-proclaimed ruler of the island. This Wonder Boy isn't exactly Master Higgins, though. John wonders how we can all claim to be the very best, since no one ever was this early in the contest. Marina's an adventurous girl who lives to sail the seas in search of new lands full of new challenges. She also has nice pontoons. It's Denise, the Queen of Grinds. They say she can slide down the Golden Gate Bridge on 1 foot. Brent thinks he's a cool boarder, but in reality, he'd barely make the cut as a snowboard kid. And that brings our medal total up to 30, unlocking a new street luge course at Road Rash Alley. Of course, all this talk about unlocking the unlockable doesn't exactly concern these two. who are content with having their fun in the sun. I'd love to join you ladies, but a skater girl's work is never done. Until I come back for those two, anyway. The rest of the competition is actually out back this way. Meet Gates, the original flip champ. She once spun herself so dizzy she started mistaking cows for pigs. This is Michael the masculine. He's got cords of steel. And here's Patrick, taking some time to escape from the city and follow his rainbow. Alright, back to battle with the terrible twosome. I can't say I'm getting the warmest of vibes from these boneheads and their goon squad. But as this female bonehead shows us, at least they're equal opportunity mischief makers. No hidden medals here that I know of, so that wraps up this area, giving us a total of 43 medals. For whatever reason, I checked the trees back out here just to be sure there's nothing hidden. But yeah, not every area will have hidden medals. Now, we did open up a new street luge course, but as long as we're out here, let us hoist anchor and haul booty for the one that's already been open at Pirates Lagoon. Must be watching your port sign out here at all times, says the captain. As I mentioned back in the training area, street luge is the one event that banks on trial and error the most. If not simply because you can't go backwards to look for missing flags, or experiment with different paths on the same run. But for the first couple courses, you only need to keep a single route in mind in order to beat everyone's records. Twitchy shakes used at the luge will briefly fire you up to burn through any obstacles for extra points, including precious point gates if you're not careful. Hey there, Mini Mega Man. First to get there swashbuckled is Gretel, whose talk of street meat makes me hungry for a soft-served road cone. Dion knows life isn't always a barrel of fun, especially when you barrel right into one. Nancy spent 36 hours on a bus to make the trip out here, hence the bodacious bedhead. Joey here seems to be strictly business. But in fact, it was Hannah's twitchy shake that brought him here to the yard. Get your own, dude. It's Fish, who may or may not be related to Guppy. I honestly wouldn't know. Maybe she's Barracuda Joe's niece. She also brings our middle total past 50, opening a new surfing course at Mermaid's Cove. Bon Bon understands the importance of good, solid control while speeding through the streets. On that note, screw you, Sonic Riders, for taking a childhood dream and farting snot on it 3 times in a row. Agatha's cheerleadership will pep up anybody's day. I can already feel my broken dreams starting to mend. Cheers, mate. Oh, a goon. A female goon. Rays she's catching in the sun. This particular bonehead has some pretty high scores. You'd almost think he made them up. Oh, jeez. That about wraps things up out here, but there'd be a bit more booty here at the old lagoon under this here starfish. And that brings our bounty of medals up to 64. Now let's say we regroup back out by the starting area. Teleport! Ugh, the dreaded soda sabotage. Who's in charge here, daggone it? Oh, that answers my question. It's the Xtreme Cola president himself. The Sultan of Soda. The Patriarch of Pop. Kinda brings to mind Rodney Dangerfield for some reason. Only thing probably going through his mind during this whole thing is, hey everybody, we're all gonna get paid. Some more basic pro tips from one of the officials. Also like how we get a sneak peek at future competition just up above us there. They may seem close by, but we'll need to wait until much later to actually challenge them on even ground. Literally. Now what about this building? Of course I'm a referee. You need 400 medals to get inside. No, talk to the other head.
What? Talk to the other head.
No, talk to the other head.
What? Talk to the other head.
No, talk to the other head.
What? Talk to the other head.
No, talk to the other head.
What? Talk to the other head.
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 I'm all discombobulized. Time for a quick soak. Oh look, it's a turtle. Say, Mr. Turtle, how many licks does it take to get to the center of your shell? Just curious. This place has different music, so clearly there's something worth investigating. Nah, just some smelly locked boxes. Though speaking of boxes, I couldn't help but notice a game mentioned on the website of WayForward's lead designer, Matt Bozon, called Guppy's Beach Block. I actually got a chance to ask him about it. He said it was an in-house demo project designed after one of those box-pushing puzzle games, but with an extreme sports theme, and complete with a level editor. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing something like that come to DSiWare, if not an extreme sports sequel. I can dream. I can also check out the message center while I'm here. Looks like a new note from Finn. So Xtreme Cola's sales have started going stale, have they? Maybe they should start experimenting with new flavors, or varying amounts of guarana. Nothing over here, but it does seem like a nice wide open space for soaking one's sweaty worries and woes away. Hey, no peeking! Guppy gawkers.